Is this shit video, Pluto? Okay, well now I can watch it then.
Mr. Cow, let's watch this and start to check
significant moment in
spray
fighting game
laugh.
history is the Daigo parry, also known as Moment 37. It's been viewed over 30 million times, featured in multiple documentaries, and of course, there's the book about it. There are a lot of reasons why it was such a big deal, but at the core of it, it was simply because it took a lot of skill.
Let's go, Justin!
To parry a hit in Street Fighter 3, you have to tap forward within a 10-frame window or a sixth of a second to succeed. Otherwise, you get hit, which would have killed Daigo since he only had a pixel of health left. Since Chun-Li's super requires 15 parries in a specific pattern and tempo, Daigo had to time each one perfectly in order to survive. It's like playing a stricter Guitar Hero with 15 invisible notes and no music to follow. Add tournament pressure to the situation, and it becomes seemingly impossible to pull off. But how iconic would Moment 37 be if you could succeed just by doing this? Not very impressive, but this is actually me successfully parrying Chun-Li's super in Street Fighter 5.
That's fucking boring.
Needless to say, this game is really lenient with inputs. As a matter of fact, I can do the full parry by doing a merengue beat.
Okay, dude.
Why is it that lenient? I can't help but imagine a boardroom meeting where they thought, if we make it easy, then anyone could be the next Diego.
Yeah, that'll get him on my side.
But this trend of easier games is not without its reasons. Competitive games are harder to get into because you can learn a game for hours and still know nothing about it.
True.
Gamers are older now with real jobs and real responsibilities. After a bad day at work, the last thing you want to do is work for your entertainment. But for competitive folk, that extra work is the entertainment, also known as the journey. This creates an extremely wide spectrum of skill levels.
No, you're cheating.
You're gonna learn!
And depending on the game design, the skill gap will more or less reward those who have put more hours into the game or the game's predecessors. This has put game companies like Capcom, who have built loyal competitive fan bases, in a tough position.
You're cheating!
Appease the large pool of potential newcomers by lowering the skill gap, or be faithful to the smaller but more passionate competitive base by rewarding legacy skill and dedication. On top of this, you now have to entertain the spectators who might not even play the game, but then do it in a way that makes sponsors happy. RCappa might like Mika's default costume, but ESPN might like not losing their sponsors. By attempting to satisfy so many...
Oh my god. God, I fucking lost. Wait, what game is that?
might like Mika's default costume, but ESPN might like not
I want to look at the article. 2-6 for
losing their
ESPN.
sponsors. By attempting to satisfy so many different groups, the game itself starts to get shaped by people who don't care about the game other than its potential return on investment, or people who think running out the clock with a life lead makes you a douchebag. There's nothing new about broadening the appeal of a game, but now it's gotten to the point where highly respected pro players are literally calling the developers of the game retarded.
The guy who created the boxer, or the concept of the boxer,
Yeah.
is retarded. That's what he say. So he can totally understand that, you know, their intention, Capcom's intention, but he cannot like accept their way. For him, like it's like elementary school students creating the patch.
What's going on here?
Gerald, what's happening?
What's going on?
To get to the root of the issue, let's start with the party game. Drinking games like beer pong can be explained in a few minutes, and it's not uncommon for people playing for the first time to win. Party games like these are characterized by easy-to-learn rules, no training requirement, and low stakes. In other words, less effort required. This is why one of the worst things you can say about a competitive game is that it resembles a party game in some way.
I stream Smash 4 when I want to have fun.
Wow. More gauntlets there.
Of course, Melee players have also heard their game referred to as a party game. And this is because the game was originally designed as one, according to its creator Masahiro Sakurai, but the community made it competitive by creating rules such as no items and banning certain stages in order to remove uncertainty in outcome, also known as luck, according to Magic the Gathering creator Richard Garfield. It's hard to see who the better player is when everyone keeps getting killed by random NPCs or random items. But luck is actually great for party games because they protect egos. Players can attribute their wins to skill, but blame chance on their losses. No need to accept that you suck, so everyone is happy.
Guys, that's bad because this is bad for party games, dude. Because then somebody who's bad gets rewarded, and somebody who's good feels cheated. That's why you lose your friends. Because the guy who wins brags when he knows he shouldn't have won, and the guy who should have won gets mad that he should have won, and doesn't like that the other guy's bragging about it, and not ever lose their fucking mind.
Until they get
Like
bored and make
Monopoly.
the game more interesting by raising the stakes. When money, pride, or even just beers are on the line, rules are likely to be changed or added to reduce luck. Suddenly the ball has to be a certain size, and randomizers like dice get thrown out. Even chess, which is regarded as the ultimate example of skill-based gaming, used to be played with dice in one of its earliest forms known as Chaturaji.
Yo,
In earlier Street Fighter
guys,
games, the amount of
what
stun
about
your
this?
attacks did was random within a certain range, and sometimes you'd get dizzy in a very few hits. In later games, however, attacks do a fixed amount of stun, reducing the luck factor. Competitive players generally accept these kinds of changes. But what happens when you take a matured competitive franchise and add uncertainty in outcome?
It's very difficult to add luck to an existing game, and that's because the existing audience likes the way they're rewarded, right? The good players are getting a lot of accolades, and adding luck is going to reduce them.
When you lower the skill gap, the better player is simply going to lose more often, and games like Street Fighter V were made with this in mind. This isn't just a conspiracy theory, because Capcom never kept it a secret.
The idea that the fiasco...
Chat, my thought about this, chat, my take is that the general amount of these skill players or hardcores is going down across the board because of, I think it's because of the landscape of games. I think that pool of players is actually going down across the board.
Won, and he beat Daigo. What do you think a moment like that means to a larger audience outside of the FGC, if at all?
I think it just speaks to the accessibility of Street Fighter V. You know, I mean, it just shows that anyone could really become a champion in this game if they tried.
So what did they do to the game to achieve this? How did the sausage of Street Fighter V get made?
Whoever had the idea to design this game, okay, to be shitty like this, was like, okay, well, we have to create a Street Fighter because we're gonna promote it on esports, but we have to create a game that would close in the gap versus the guys who's been playing Street Fighter for 10 to 20 years versus somebody who just picked up a controller.
These changes cause more upsets and unpredictable matches, which might be exciting
Like
for spectators and
Valorant.
newcomers, but gives near heart attacks to even the most consistent pros.
Taking Fudo to the last round.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Definitely give some heart attack.
But a game designed to cater towards newcomers and spectators comes with a price. With Street Fighter V's simpler and more lenient combo execution, intermediate players are now able to perform any combo with little to no effort, even the deadliest ones. This lowers combo variety and ultimately hurts the ability of the players to express themselves.
Even I was trying to play like a really special, or try to have like my signature technique with my character. This is not going to happen in this game.
Okay.
Because all the combo, anyone can do it.
Saddest of all, the skills of combo masters like Sakonoko are trivialized because anyone can do the same combos that he does. In addition to max damage combos being easier, the game unapologetically made defensive options terrible, and they're getting worse.
You're trying to prevent something from happening, but you're so limited in defensive options.
I definitely feel like there needs to be some kind of defensive option in the game.
I obviously like Season 1 more because there was a little bit more defensive options.
Okay.
So Season 2 is obviously more towards aggression and just more excitement for people to watch.
The end result is volatility.
You see all these comeback videos every single day, where that's the norm.
Comebacks don't matter
anymore.
They're not impressive anymore.
No.
A comeback is likely now.
I get that defensive play is bad for spectators, but even Guilty Gear Xrd, a game that actually empties your resources for playing too defensively,
Guys,
has
what even
rich
is this
defensive
game, dude?
options like
This
faultless
looks so
defense that
trash.
rewards good resource management and instant block which rewards precise timing. Alongside volatile gameplay, the drastic balance changes have put pro players in a guessing game called Who Does Capcom Like?
Chat, I'm trying to this video and let's look at that Switch topic.
I think they just wanted to shuffle who you see on screen.
I get the picture.
And make it exciting.
But on top of everything, Street Fighter V also has the high input lag, which I've already made a whole video about, and while they've shaved off about a frame and a half of lag since then, it's still double that of indie titles like Skullgirls. As a matter of fact, Skullgirls creator Mike Z added a mode that increases the input lag to simulate Street Fighter V. You can activate it by adding the command line Ascend Higher in the launch options. While this burn is indeed sick, the message is real. Input lag decreases your control over your character and necessarily rewards prediction over reactions, which creates more uncertainty in outcome.
You have to play with the lag. You have to play with the lag.
You do, right.
Because if you let it dictate too
That's
much
so
of your
dumb.
gameplay, like if you're trying to react with punish stuff too much, you're gonna get
screwed.
But you might be thinking, if Street Fighter V is so random, then why do we still see players who do well consistently? It's for the same reason why we see consistency in professional poker. Players like Daniel Negreanu have won 6 World Series of Poker bracelets and over $30 million in prize money despite playing a game that's literally gambling. Richard Garfield points out that luck and skill are not mutually exclusive, which means games can require high luck and high skill, low luck and high skill, high luck and low skill, and low luck and low skill. The ones who like high-level competitive play want Street Fighter to go this way, but the ones who want upsets and blow-ups want it to go this way. When it goes too far in one direction, it won't feel like the same franchise anymore.
Oh, this Street Fighter is totally not a Street Fighter game. This is like Marvel with lag.
But fans of the series will dispute what makes a real Street Fighter game because people have different tastes. Is it about footsies, zoning, execution, tech, reads? There's no definite answer because there's no official Street Fighter constitution that defines the franchise in terms of gameplay. This is why Moment 37 and others like it.
Okay, chat, I'm done with this chat. It was a very good video, chat. I got the point, and I like it, and I'm done with it. I'm like the HG chat. It's just the intro is always kind of short, and I don't want to, you know, stretch it for no reason.
With me, feed my fantasy.
Okay, Jesus, man, chill out. Even if it's just for the day. Joy, your stay outside the sun is shining.